Hello everyone, this is SirJesto, and welcome to How to Mod Skyrim Anniversary Edition for Beginners. Today, we're going to learn how to install and set up Mod Organizer 2. The first thing we're going to want to do is type Mod Organizer 2 into Google. Click on the first result. That will take us to the Mod Organizer 2 page on Nexus Mods. Scroll down to the File section, click it, and click on the main file, Manual Download. Your file will start downloading. If you're not a premium member of the Nexus, you can select Slow Downloads. The file will start downloading. I have mine downloading to the default Downloads folder. You can download it wherever you like. Once it's completed downloading, you will navigate to where you downloaded it to. I'll just drag it to my desktop. You can close your browser window. When you've navigated to where the setup file downloaded, double-click it to start the install process. A license agreement will pop up. You may read the entire contents if you wish. When you're ready, click I accept the agreement and click Next. Setup will install Mod Organizer to the following folder. If you only have one drive, the default folder of C Modding MO2 is probably fine. If, like me, you have a dedicated drive for your mods and your games, you'll want to browse to that and create a folder for your Mod Organizer install. I've already done this and called it Skyrim Modding Mod Organizer, but you can name it whatever you like. Once you have your install location set to what you want it, click Next. Mod Organizer will have a number of components pre-selected for their recommended install. I recommend you leave this the way it is and just click Next. Setup will create Mod Organizer's program shortcuts in the following Start folder. I recommend to leave this just as it is and click Next. And I recommend you click Create a shortcut. Once you've done that, click Next again. You'll want to review this information to make sure it is correct. Your destination location for the install files, your Start menu folder, and creating a desktop shortcut. When you're ready, click Install. Mod Organizer will take a few seconds to install the program. Once it's finished installing, you'll see a dialog and a checkbox with Launch Mod Organizer selected. Let's just go ahead and leave that checked and click Finish. Creating a new instance. Well, what is a new instance? An instance is a full set of mods, downloads, profiles, and configurations for a game. Each game must be managed in its own instance. Mod Organizer can freely switch between instances. Alright, we'll click Next. Would you like to create a global instance or create a portable instance? The difference between the two is a portable instance will self-contain all the files in one location, but you will only be able to manage one game that way. This is the way I prefer to do it. I have a different version of Mod Organizer for each game that I manage. It's not typically what you would want to do. Typically, you would like to create a global instance, and that will just have one install of Mod Organizer that can manage multiple games. If you're new to the process, completely new, I recommend we'll create a global instance. So click on that. Find your game that you wish to manage. For me, it's Skyrim Special Edition. You may have more games here. Since we're modding Skyrim, let's go ahead and click that one. And I will leave it as the default name for the game instance, Skyrim Special Edition. We'll click Next. Now this is where we'll select the folder where the data for the game instance is installed. If you have the OneDrive and you installed your Mod Organizer at C drive modding MO2 as was default, you can go ahead and leave this the way it is. If, like me, you installed it on a separate drive, this is something you may want to do. You may want to browse to that drive and that install of Mod Organizer. You might want to create a new folder and call it Skyrim and then select that folder. That way you can have a different folder for every game that you manage. So my instance specific files will be installed to D Skyrim modding Skyrim. Once everything is ready, click Finish. Now Mod Organizer opens up and it's asking you if you would like to associate it with NXM links. You will want to select Yes here. NXM links are what will allow Mod Organizer to use the Download with Mod Manager function on Nexus Mods file pages. After we've done that, you will see this screen right here. Your Mod Organizer is installed at this point. If you go into Setup, under General, you'll find these options. That you should probably leave these just as they are. Under the Paths tab, you will see that my instance of Mod Organizer for Skyrim, the directory shows here. And what this is telling me is these different folders in this directory contain these items. So the base directory listed here is this directory here. So in D Skyrim modding Skyrim downloads, that's where my downloads will appear. Same for mods, the cache files, your profile specific files, which we'll get into in a later video, and your overwrite folder. which we'll explain later as well. Those are all separate folders under your base game directory. And your managed game is Skyrim Special Edition, located in this spot. Click on the Nexus tab, and you may have your account linked already. If you don't, you'll want to hit Connect to Nexus. Let's show you that. Hit Connect to Nexus. It will open up a page that will ask you if you would like to allow Mod Organizer to access your Nexus Mods account. You will click Yes, Authorize. You can then close this window, and there you should see your Nexus account linked. This associate with download with manager links is what we did at the start when we allowed Mod Organizer to associate with NXM links. If for some reason that process isn't working, you'll want to come back here. Ensure you click on that to make sure that you are connected and are able to use the download with manager links on Nexus Mods. These are the various plugins that Mod Organizer installs by default. We'll get into those in a later video. One thing that I will recommend that you do while we're here is in the Workarounds tab. Go ahead and enable this option, Enable Archives Parsing. It says it's experimental, but it's working just fine. And what this feature does is shows conflicts between the archives of mods, not just loose files as Mod Organizer defaults to. Again, if you're not understanding what that is, we will explain that in a future video. It says Mod Organizer must restart to finish configuration changes. Say sure, restart it. And there you have it. Let's go ahead and download our first mod with Mod Organizer to see how that works. I'm going to go ahead and download Skyrim. How about the let's try something fairly popular. How about the unofficial patch? Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. Go ahead and click on that. Again, go to the Files section. Unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. Now you'll see Mod Manager download. Click on that. For you, a dialog box may appear up here saying associate with links or associate this program with this type of links. You'll want to click it and say yes, always associate, so you'll never have to see that again. Alright. After you've clicked that button, Mod Organizer should be downloading the mod. You'll go to the Downloads tab here. And there we have the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch. And it shows now as downloaded. When it has downloaded, go ahead and double click the mod. A dialog box quick install box will show up. For most mods, you'll just want to go ahead and click OK. The mod has now been installed as it appears here on the left. If you wish to activate it, you will click the checkbox beside it. Click the plugins tab over here, and you will see it in your load order and activated. That's the basics of how to download and install mods with Mod Organizer. That's where I think we'll end our video for today. If you found this video useful, please hit subscribe so you can check out the rest in the series.